All right. Well, this is a little bit of an unexpected episode. We were going to be having a great guest on today, a little calendar mixed up. So we'll be having them on a little bit later in the week. So we're just going to do an off the cuff episode here because we were just chatting. We were just chatting about art trading, and yeah, we just want to keep chatting. This is already our scheduled podcast time. So yeah, let's just get back into it, Randy. We were talking about what the conversation was talking about is Randy was saying he feels like he has, or why don't you just explain it? Why don't you just explain it?
I guess the best way to explain it is I'm very comfortable reading the markets and trading the markets. What I'm finding is that I'm not comfortable having the discipline to have one or two or three setups to trade. What I'm finding is that I have multiple setups and they're all valid setups. And now, as we have this conversation live on for the podcast, we weren't before. I was just saying that in the last few months, I've really been capitalizing. Now that I think about it, just capitalizing on volatility and momentum. But what it's doing is it's reinforcing some bad habits for me, and it's not helping me build that discipline to have the patience to wait for those A plus setups. And I think a part of it is, the dopamine hit, the whatever it is of these momentum trades, because you can pick up, you know, 5 to 15 points on ES in a matter of minutes, seconds, sometimes with the right amount of size. And I have a bunch of now I have 4 XFAs. I had 5, but 2 of those XFAs I was able to put $2,000 or $3,000 buffers in them, trading this style of momentum trading. And maybe it's because those accounts now are qualified for a payout, and I can take the money out that and we've had this discussion last week. I went back to just trading smaller size in those accounts, and I'm taking poor entries, I find, and I'm sitting in trades and getting full stops, and it's leading me to lose confidence and conviction in just the way I'm seeing things. And then again, a big sell-off or a big rally happens and I get on the right side of it and I manage the trade well. And then I don't know if that is reinforcing that I can take these 5 crappy entries and have this, like, it's the whole conversation of almost like going for home runs and then having a bunch of paper cuts. But for me, the problem is they're not paper cuts. They're 10-point losers, full stops. Even if it's a couple micros, you copy trade that over a bunch of counts, and before you know, it's a $2,000-$3,000 losing day. So that's kind of where I'm at, and just kind of struggling. Like I was saying to Thomas and Christine before we started recording, that I'm thinking about getting. I've only ever traded 50K accounts. I've never traded a bigger account before, and I was saying that I'm thinking, after talking with Zach this morning on stream when I was on Zach, maybe looking at getting 150K combine and see how I feel trading with more drawdown. But, being able to take that, when I take a full stop loss for 5 points or for 10 points on 5 micros on a 50K account, that's 25% of my drawdown gone. One trade.
Well, I feel like I'd love to take the moment just to ask you like a few questions, because this is like when you talk, I think of questions to like probe a little deeper. And why do you not want to have a strict setup?
I think it just leads to right now, like I don't want patience and discipline, maybe wanting to be in a trade.
What's the fear?
And I shouldn't say
What are you
maybe.
scared of?
Maybe's a bad word. Sorry. I don't know, because I probably don't want to get rid of the high of those momentum trades.
And why do you have to? Why is having a strict setup negate having a momentum play?
I don't know.
It doesn't.
Honest. I don't know.
You can have a momentum play.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't know. And like, now it's like I'm starting to question if I have too much stuff on my charts to give me too many. I have way too many opportunities to get into the market, where if I didn't have certain things on the chart, would I be like, I don't even see the trade? But I'm finding myself always being able to see either side of a trade at any point in time in the market, which is not, I don't think, a good thing.
Well, I'd love to bring this back to me for a moment because I feel like about 3 months ago, before the podcast with Lawrence, I was in a similar place where I was just not trusting my strategy. I had a way to read the market. I wasn't necessarily executing consistently on that, and it all came back to I didn't trust my entries. And I didn't trust my entries because I wasn't taking a lot of money out of the market, and also I didn't have any back test to show anything. So I went through all my major markups from like maybe August of last year up until the current. And I just click through. I would just go on TradeZella and like click through each day, open it, be like, okay, this is an opening range high break. And it helped me identify like what are the key setups I'm seeing. Then I did the back test. Then that gave me more confidence. And now I am like actually on the total opposite side of like, am I being too strict? And do I only have like one entry signal, or I have multiple entry signals, but only for one time of the day? And it's like, okay, now I'm like, okay, I don't want to confuse things. I don't want to change things up because I think that's like the worst thing you can do at this point where I'm seeing good success, but okay, let's talk about this on the podcast. Christine pushed me to evaluate all my trades from the last 2 weeks because they were, and Randy, you don't even know this, I don't think. They were I took a bunch of red trades. In the last like 14 trading days, I took 7 trades with an improper stop loss, being the stop loss was inside the opening range. I took a loss on 6 out of 7 of those trades. Some of those trades had add-ins, some of the trades didn't, some of the trades were larger size. Overall, in my personal account, that was a minus $670 on those 6 trades specifically, being they were winners, but I was stopped out before the idea was invalidated and the price ran without me. I lost $670, which equates to like 25% of the account, or like 30, yeah, like a big amount of the account. And on top of it, all of those trades would have been winners. So I would have been printing in what feels like printing. And so I'm like, okay, what's my focus for this week is just having the proper stop loss. And I don't want to change anything else. So I'm like, I am struggling in this middle ground of like, hey, my setup presents before 8 o'clock every morning, but like I'm a trader. I want to be trading more, especially now that it's my personal money. I have so much more investment into trading. Like I feel way more invested into wanting to take trades because the money is actually mine. And there's no consistency target. So I'm very like I'm torn a little bit, but when I'm showing up to the desk, I'm just trying to show up and execute the trade consistently that I know I have.
I don't know if I
Hey,
want
come on, give it
I
to
went
us,
way
Mom.
off on a
I
tangent.
Come
don't know
on,
if I
Mom,
wanna
give it
say
to
this.
us.
People are gonna be
Give it
like,
to us.
stop yelling at Randy. You yell at Randy too much.
Well, it's like it's like I see like, okay, there's like an issue. It's like there's an issue of like something just needs to be like there needs to be a decision. That's sometimes what I feel like it is. Like there just needs to be a decision and there needs to be like a commitment to the decision. But as traders, it's fucking hard to commit when you have inadequate results, inadequate data, and like you're like kind of making a decision half blind.
Okay, I've said it, and I'll say it again just so we have it on record. I don't think there's a point of data if you're not willing to review. So the 2 things that I have told Randy before, and I'll say it again, is backtesting and playbooking, which up until this point he has refused to do.
I have a
You
playbook.
backtest though bookmap and volume profile. Is that even possible?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
yes.
you could probably with Bookmap, I could. For sure.
But that would be
Because
like
I
That's
think
fucking intense.
backtesting can literally encompass like what you just talked about. Like you reviewing all your trades from August, that's a
Mhm.
form of backtesting, in my opinion, because you're going back and you're looking at the trades, you're looking at what you could have done differently. Like it's essentially the same thing. Like it can be used for the same thing. If you want to actually go into TradeZella and do backtesting, that's a whole thing. And yes, it's a lot harder to make sure you have the right levels on and the indicators and all that stuff. It would take more time. But I think there's levels of different backtesting, and some of it can just be review. Like, and it doesn't even have to be months. It could be the last 2 weeks. Randy,
I have a playbook.
and
I
your
have
playbook.
plays in my,
Randy's sharing the screen here.
I
So
have
like,
plays in my playbook.
so last week, what
I
play?
don't tag my playbook. Like I don't
Well,
tag
then
my
what's the
trades.
point of having a playbook?
Well,
I
we
have
may
a-
need to
I have a
get that
playbook.
off the screen.
You need to actually tag them so you know. Like it's going to be pretty simple. You're going to be able to find out which strategy works better for you like pretty quickly. Like if you honestly just went back for the last 2 months and playbooked all those trades, you could know the answer this afternoon.
Here's the way that I developed the strategy. I said, okay, at the open, we have the opening range, we have VWAP, we have breaks of both sides of the range. I need a setup for single breaks and I need a setup for double breaks. I don't know if I told you this. I don't know if on Edgeful, I made the report for the opening range breakout for the first 2 hours of the market open. I only went back year to date, so about a year now, but we single broke up 33% of the time. We single broke down 33% of the time, and we double broke the opening range 33% of the time. And that's only within the first 2 hours of the open. So what that tells me is that I am on the right side. I like my single break momentum entries, and they're going to pay 66% of days. But also, I need to have an entry for the double break because that's like today, like sometimes it can be a clean entry. So why only focus on one? But I'm like, okay, I've got for the way I personally read the market, I have a setup to go long, short, and a mean reversion. And I know at least one will present every day, if not two. And then now I'm trying to define the PM part of the day, if that becomes more of my session, because I just want more experience in the market at the end of the day. That's why I want more time is more experience because when I first started trading up until a few months ago, there was a lot of like mental turmoil, especially mid trade, especially after trades. But I've really been able to settle that down through the trade experience, and I just want to keep improving that. So, like, I'd ask you, Randy, if you had to right now, off the top of your mind, define your opening setups and your like continuation setups. Could you do that? And like,
And I'm just looking. I just actually pulled up the chart for today just to look at it while you're talking to kind of see like if I could look at this, what am I thinking about? And waiting for this. And this is where again, like I was telling Christine, I'm going to lean into Zach's courses this next week and into the weekend and just start to really understand liquidity concepts and his take on volume profile. Because for me, volume profile speaks very profoundly.
there you go.
And it's like Zach was early to the party, but Zach was getting long back here, seeing that this volume getting filled here. But I just saw these orders still hadn't got fully tapped at 68.30 on Bookmap yet. So I wasn't quite sold on the longs just yet. And we still made a couple stabs. And even here, how many people got faked out in this move? We come up, we take the session high. What does price do? Rips back down to the 30s. And then that was the last stand for the sellers, and it was straight up from there.
So, Randy, this morning you saw the longs, but you also saw the orders at 30.
Yes.
Were you trading the short side?
Well, I was looking for that's a trade I would have took was the short side, but it just was so choppy here.
Okay. Did you trade today?
No, I didn't trade.
Okay.
I think I was a little bit like upset with losing that account last night, and I just wasn't.
Mhm.
I was sick. Like I'm
Good
sick.
self-awareness.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
that sense, it's good. But it's like, the self-awareness is good when I don't need it. It's not there when I need it, right? Like I needed it last night when I took that second trade that I added into. And I'll tell the chat there, sorry, the guest, this story that I was just telling Thomas and Christine. I took a trade last night. I took a long valid entry, lost it. In my head, I sized into the next trade, a valid short, but I sized in too heavy, thinking to myself that, okay, I can get back the loss and some, within my target where I'm within my thesis. And what happened is price pulled back for the last time and stopped me out to literally, I think 55 was my stop. I got stopped out at 55.50, like 2 ticks, and then went straight to my TP. And I told myself last night, I told myself this morning, I told Thomas and Christine when I was telling the story, I told it on stream that, if I hadn't got stopped out by 2 ticks, I would have gotten my loss back and made money on the day. Not once did I say to myself, Randy, if you had just sized in half the size, you would have got back some of your loss and still had the account. You wouldn't have lost the account. Not once did I tell myself I lost the account because of my behavior. I kept telling myself, because of that behavior, if the market wasn't such a piece of shit and stopped me out by 2 ticks, I would have made money
for that.
Right? No, but that's basically what I'm doing.
Mhm.
I'm blaming something that is not within my control, right? And what was within my control was sizing in too heavy into the trade. Like,
And I see a parallel there to me because I had 3 trades, net like $500 at least, like a $500 swing at the very least in my personal account of being stopped out to the tick 3 different times. And I didn't blame it on anything. I just said, wasn't the trade today. And I just moved on. But then it was Christine. I think it was Friday when we were on the call, and you were like, just what if you looked back? And then it really made me reevaluate. It was my behavior that caused it, but I was brushing it off. And that's where, like, it's the self-awareness. It's so difficult to know when to apply it, when to let it go, when you need to dig deep, when it's just a probability type of thing. I really think that is why this trading cycle for the first 3 years takes so long, is because there's so much experimentation that has to go on. And like I've really been thinking a lot about it within myself of like, I feel like really emotionally charged about trading from all of these losses. And it's like sometimes difficult now. Like I don't have the same motivation. I have a different motivation now, but I don't have the same motivation as when I started trading to like sit at the desk and learn. It feels different now. I feel like I feel almost like a negative energy around like being at the desk for too long because it indicates me losing money or me getting more frustrated with myself. And I feel like these are really the things that you have to work through in this period.
And it's crazy you say that. Sorry, Christine, if you were going to say something.
Nope.
I have the camera right in front of, like, it's blocking. I can't see you. Like I move the camera angle so it's in front of my screen. So because I find if people in the comment on this, but do you find sometimes that it looks like that we're not looking at the camera? That I hate that. So it's like, because
I never.
side,
We're looking at each other.
it looks like I'm doing something else when I'm doing it. Right? So right now I put the camera, I move it, and it's like right in front of my computer screen. So I'm like talking to you, like looking right at Thomas in his eyes, but I can't see Christine. Where was like, so this is where I love this conversation. I've been dying to have this conversation. I was talking to Lawrence about it the other day, and it's like the iterations of like trading. And even so, Lawrence was 1 trade a day. I tried 1 trade a day. And then Lawrence is back to, and then we were talking about these. I was asking Lawrence and Tanner their advice on these XFAs since they trade Topstep. Like, should I get them to a buffer? What should I do? I have 5 XFAs. I have money in them. I can take payouts now. What's your thoughts? And
yeah, what they say.
Tanner said put a buffer in it, and Lawrence said put a buffer in it. They said just take your time, build up the buffer, risk max risk whatever, 5 or 10% of your drawdown. And I think I'd put like 175 on the accounts. And then I had 11 winning days in 2 of them and 7 winning days in 3 of them. As soon as I put that 175 max loss limit, I've had 3 losing days in the accounts now.
Mm.
And why? Trade sizing.
Yeah, probably trade sizing. I'm like anywhere from like 1 to 3 micros, but I'm still getting stopped out full stop and basically hitting my personal, and which is fine because it's mitigating the losses. But one thing that I was talking to Lawrence about, and I was asking him, and Lawrence is at a point right now where he's not even putting a limit on his trades. Lawrence is wanting to capture when he's in the, and we've talked about this before, being in the pocket or being in pocket, however we want to call it, is just maximizing your plays in the market. And then when I listened to the podcast with Trader Nick in Austin, and Nick said, I like to take 2 to 3 trades max a day, but he's like, if price is trending and I'm reading the market well, I'll take 9 trades. And, I start to think to myself, like, the max loss limit's an amazing thing. It's stopping me from losing my accounts instantly. But then I was talking to Christine yesterday about it, and I asked her what her max loss is on her new XFA. And she's like, I don't have one. She's like, I just have a max trade limit.
Well, something that I've been thinking about, which you make me think about here, is are your stops always at the invalidation? Like, are you with that max limit? Are you really giving yourself the full ability to take advantage of the move that you were trying to trade? Or is it possible that like you're getting stopped out and then like re-entering the trade on a different set of accounts and making it back there?
I'm gonna say 2 out of the 3 losses, price continued in the direction where if I hadn't got stopped out, had a bigger stop, I would have got stopped. I'm gonna say that for sure.
I know with your trading, Randy, like you actually do really well at getting back your losses.
And so that's why I'm getting.
So sometimes I think having that max loss kind of like handcuffs you in a way where you can't actually stretch those muscles of like, because consider like you have more information. You have, maybe you could argue that you were impatient earlier and you took the trades, but like hindsight's 2020, but then you have more information and you can maybe take better setups later on in the day. But since you were already stopped out at your max loss, it's like you can't do anything with that.
This is a prime example, and this is where I just need to then understand, and we're talking about this yesterday, Christine and I, with these XFAs or any funded account, all this prop firm shit, is that we can get the account back. Like you can do it over again. It's not like if I lose the account, I can never trade again. I'm done trading for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Let's buy another one.
And this is a prime example where, you know what, I had a stop. My stop should have been just below. I should have cut this somewhere below the New York VWAP. I didn't need to have it so tight to the overnight because this could have bounced here. But this was my max loss for the day. And so in these Topstep accounts, I hit max loss. That's fine. This thing would have kept coming down. I would have took a bigger loss if I had more room in it. I'm totally proud of myself. Good for that. But what happened is now when I see an opportunity arise, I'm locked out of my XFAs. I'm not locked out of my Ignite accounts because I don't have a max loss. There's $1,000 soft breach on those accounts, and I just have that in play if I hit that. If not, I'm going for max 375 profit. But I get to take this trade in my Ignite accounts because they're not locked out, and I got the loss back and hit max profit because I was able to add into it on a Confluence using Bookmap, watching the order flow come in. Sellers are stepping in. This is going to move down. We're going to take these orders out down here. And I couldn't do that in the XFAs. And so there's one of the 3 losses, like in the XFAs. And then I take another, like, it's like, and then I feel like I go into this, like, losing my confidence all of a sudden. And now I'm going to like, oh, I'm going to lose these accounts. And I kind of got to keep reminding myself what Andrew said on the podcast last week. Like when you lose a trade, that's not going to define you. Like, don't, if I lose these, like when I lost that account last night, I was actually really upset at first. And then I was like, what? It's at fucking Topstep account. Like I'll just go buy another combine and get another account. I lost $200 last night, basically.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that feels like for you, Randy, what if you just had like $1,000 max loss? Where you fucking know you have to take 5 trades and go on tilt to hit that max loss. It's not about like you're gonna change your position sizing, but like Christine said, because I noticed the same thing, is you're very good at getting back to break even. Like you're very good at finding the second entry. Like
my second trade's always a winner. Always, it seems like. Always.
Yeah, where
Right?
I might like lose my like focus and like take a shitty second trade. Your second trade's way fucking better than your first trade in that sense. And like maybe having that really like loose space. Like how do you feel about having that loose space where I know before, like a couple months ago, maybe we weren't like, you just weren't as confident with yourself, and so we had to like limit the trades, limit the this, limit the that.
Yeah, no, I so what I'm thinking is I have 4 XFAs. I'm gonna go and just trade them individually, but from the least amount of drawdown. Do you know what I mean? Like, so one of them has $3,000 in it. That one I'm just gonna put, like, I'm not gonna trade it now for a bit.
Right. Why? Why?
Or should I just trade that one and trade it with more? I don't know. Yeah, probably.
You sound scared.
Yeah,
that you don't want to trade.
I'm trying to figure what the best way is to not have, like, to like try this not having a max loss limit. Like I'm not going to copy trade the accounts is basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then it gives me the ability that, hey, I'm going to try this now, $1,000 max loss limit for the day, and trade how I want to trade. And then if I lose that one account, I lose that one account. And then if I lost, and this was my thought process, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. If I lost, the other 3, that other account would be sitting there, and I could take $1,500 payout on it, and it would basically pay for those accounts that I lost, and then another set of combines and activation fees. Like I'm thinking of it from a business perspective.
I think that's smart. I also like. Do you know what percentage of your first trades are winners versus losers?
No, but I can find that out pretty quick.
Because if you find that out, and let's say they are mostly losers, my suggestion would be to mark up your first trades. And if you can't do that, trade your first trades in a separate account.
How do I get to stats?
Reports.
But I don't know if this is in a report.
Yeah.
Although you can look at your time. Like
yeah, it'll tell me the time of day I trade.
Yeah, go look at that. You need the.
I mean, looks fucking great.
Yeah. Always look. It's like a 91% win rate right now.
So what are we complaining about then?
But wait. But what's a 91% win rate?
That's like it said my day win rate's 91% on these 3 accounts.
Okay.
But how long have you been trading these accounts for?
Like 6 weeks, probably, these ones. Since I stopped trading all my evals. 5 weeks.
But this makes perfect sense. You're running hot. Your evals or your XFAs are on profit. You can take payouts, and now it's kind of, it's like setting up for like the part 2. It's like, okay, like I've ran hot. I guess that made sense in my head.
No, I think I understand what you're saying, but it's like, I don't know is there an issue? Like you have a 91% win rate and you're in profit?
I think it's like the issue. I think the issue for me is trade management, right? So it's like I have a winning trade, and then I'll have like my losers will just blow me out of the water.
But that is not here then, right?
What do you mean?
Like like the accounts that you've lost, like how are you appropriately reviewing the data?
Anything from top on futures I lose, I can't put the last trade in my losing trade. Because you lose those accounts immediately. You have no way to back up that information unless I manually draw it. Like I'll have a markup of it, but I won't have it in here. And then my XFAs, I have every trade in here.
Yeah, the trades, it does skew the trade Zella data real bad.
Yeah,
Blown
the
accounts.
top one futures really fuck things up for me.
Because this is showing that you literally shouldn't change a thing. Like
Yeah.
you show someone a 91% win rate with like in the green, like what? There should be nothing that changes.
You should be sizing up right now.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's a 76% win rate.
Well,
91.
no, day win rate 91, trade win 75.
Yeah, but even still, 75%.
I mean, that's fucking great. No one, yeah, that's printing.
Killer. So, yeah, now I'm more confused, to be honest.
Is this all coming down to like,
Are you?
I'm trying to put myself in your position, Randy, of thinking about the payout. Thinking about the payout and the potential of losing the payouts and how much that is making you question what you should do.
For sure, that is. For sure. And that's where it's like, I got to just like, it's like almost like how I feel now after losing that account last night to how I feel to last night were two different things. And it's like, I thought I was getting better at that. But last night when it happened, it was like a punch in the gut. And it was just like, fuck, what did I do? Like, if I had not.
Couldn't that just be like seen as cost of business?
Yeah. So that's where I got to chalk it up to cost of business. And I don't, because it's like, sometimes I put everything on my weight on my trading is like who that defines me as a person. But that's just what I do. I do that with things in life, right?
You
like
started out with 5 accounts, right?
Yeah. And I have
how
4
many you had left?
4.
So like, I'm wondering if you don't make any type of judgment on how you traded this batch until they are all gone. And that either means you've made a payout on them or you've lost them.
I like that.
You can reevaluate it, because if you're trading them separately, like you're going to churn through a couple. It's the cost of business.
And
the one that I did lose had my least amount of drawdown.
Well, there you go. And what if you took, you said you have $1,500 payout waiting in one account.
Yeah.
If you take that, you recoup everything and some. You can swing on that account with the $500 drawdown or however much drawdown, it would be $1,500 of drawdown left.
I'd have 1,500 drawdown left and 5 more winning days, and I could take out half of that.
That sounds like a good idea, because then you still have 4 accounts to play with, and you've covered your cost, and for the next amount, I don't know. That sounds good.
That's why I was saying to put that one aside. But you're right. Maybe I should because James said to me, just pay yourself.
Pay yourself the $1,500, and then you have a 3 and a 1. You trade the 1 however you want to trade it. You set up your thing, and then you trade the 3, and you've already paid yourself. And so it's like risk-free at that point. And then if you build up a fucking buffer in the 3, then that's great. And then you just keep going.
Yeah,
I can request a $1,600 payout in the account right now.
And that would leave you what for a buffer?
$1,600. Exactly half.
I mean, that's almost a no-brainer to me, considering that the max drawdown on, because it's a 50K, right? The max drawdown on a 50K is 2K.
Yeah. So it's close.
Yeah.
It's close it's like all about the money right now. That's what it feels. It feels like it's like about the money, but it's not about the money. Like you're trying to make it not about it, but like in the back of your head, it kind of is about the money.
Because you're in a state of fear of losing that $3,000 that you've made. And if you can't get out of that fear, I think I think it might be a good idea to take that money and try to reduce some of that fear and then just recycle.
Oh, you just turned $300, or you just turned $200 into $1,600.
Yeah.
Minus tax.
Can't forget about the tax, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And then kind of just keep going with what you're doing. And then once you've churned through those 5 accounts, then you can fully review from start to finish, right? And then maybe make adjustments on your next 5 accounts, because there will be another 5 accounts. Like you're not going to
hold the other 4. You're still net profitable, assuming it was like one combine. Not like too many, but
There's
Like,
a
you're
part
not-
of me that just maybe that it's like, and it's, I'm glad we're having this conversation. Is I think that I'm just like, I think these 5 XFAs are going to be like, I'll take $5,000 a month out of them for the next 5 months and then go to live. Not realizing I'll probably burn through 100 sets of XFAs before I go to live or something, or, you know, a bunch of sets of XFAs and then go live.
Christine was the one that initially said there's this Fugazi like thing in our head about max allocation, 5 XFAs. Like there's it's a thing in our head, but it's not real in the sense of like one XFA can be just as powerful as 5. If you have a buffer, if you trade it differently, it can be seen so many different ways. And
That's why I was looking at the what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the payout on this account and I'm gonna get, I have 4 accounts and I'll still get
yeah, you'll still have 4 accounts.
no, I'll buy one 150K combine and that'll be my combine to trade.
Or why even buy one?
Just wait.
Yeah, until you're done.
Why overcomplicate it? You've got ignites. You've got now 2 baskets of Topstep. That's 3 baskets. I don't know anyone who needs to trade more than 3 baskets.
Yeah, makes sense. I hear you. Just is not fun.
And I mean, there's always essentially we might be the blind leading the blind here.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I'm fucking.
So make your own decisions, Randy. But well, I feel like
I like how you guys said that you'd like Thomas even said, but the max drawdown of that account is 2,000, and I'm literally going to have almost max drawdown and take a payout.
Yeah.
In my head, I was trying to build the account to $5,000 and then take a $2,000 payout and have a $3,000 buffer. That's kind of a perfect world what I was trying to do with all the accounts, but clearly I'm not doing that.
Well, it's just up here now. It's just up here.
And you could. It's not that you can't do that. Maybe it's on the next round. Maybe it's on the round after that.
You just need like a mental reset. Like get back to break even. Break even in your head, neutral.
Like not caring whether you lose an account. Because I mean, that's at the end of the day, it's like how to be the best loser is with trades, but also with accounts. I think there's a level of that.
For sure.
Of just getting over losing the accounts and not trading from fear overall.
Best loser wins, right?
Yeah.
Best loser wins. Well, what a great place to end this.
Yeah.
Yes. I gotta leave in a little bit anyway. So
love you guys. Thanks.
You got this, Randy.
Yeah. I'm really glad we had this conversation. This was great.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Bye.
See you, everybody.